All right, MMA Maniacs, it's time once again for your weekly MMA podcast from the SinCal studios. Bueller, Dodge, and Dennis ready to break you off some MMA news. Of course, we got fights to recap from last week. No fights happening this week, so that means you only have to listen to us for about half the time.
It's possible.
It's possible.
I don't know. I got a lot to say.
It's going to go pretty
I got
a lot of weird-ass stories today.
Weird-ass stories.
Crazy stuff.
Weird week in mixed martial arts. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and just jump into it with the craziest story of them all.
This is an ongoing story.
Yeah.
This is currently happening.
From mymmanews.com, we have Nick Diaz married.
Nick Diaz might have got married in Las Vegas, man.
I'm calling BS on
This
this.
chick named Chloe Stanley on her Instagram posted this picture that
Chloe Monster 92.
fake name.
may or may not be photoshopped of Nick Diaz sleeping in a bed.
I'm telling you right now, the more I
And
look,
just captioned Bay.
yeah, Bay.
And then everyone's like, is that Nick Diaz? And it's like, yes.
She's so coy about the whole thing.
Yes, it is.
I mean, this is probably exactly how she responds too.
No, she has some YouTube videos that are fucking weird, man.
Man, she's getting her 15 minutes of
I was
fame
trying
out
to
of
do
this.
some research and be like, is this real?
How come her name's not Chloe Diaz?
Is this real?
Because her name's Chloe Monster.
I mean,
okay?
I'll let you know. I went to the Clark County Registry and looked up to see if any marriage licenses and or certificates have
because
been,
of course you did.
have been filed.
That's what he does.
Hey, don't call me weird.
Yeah.
All right? Eric already did that.
He's a data. Whatever.
Move past it.
Eric called you weird.
Yeah.
The creeper who went and counted somebody's toes on a
Treadmill?
because she was running barefoot.
It's a solid point. She was a nine-toed monster.
Yeah.
Right?
Who's the creeper?
Anyway,
How does that even happen?
so as of yet, no
East Coast.
He's got a private folder on his computer that's nothing but pictures of buttholes. I'm just telling you that right now. Don't ask me how I know this. It just, it's there.
So, from what I found, there has not been filed a marriage certificate or license under Nicholas Diaz or Nick Diaz in Clark County, which is Las Vegas. They do have 30 days to file before it becomes null and void. So far I haven't seen anything. She shows this picture of Nick sleeping, and then she puts up this YouTube video. Do you have the next one?
I just have a problem with this picture of Nick sleeping because the more I look at it, the more that it looks like it's really uncomfortable looking.
So
Man, everybody knows Nick don't sleep.
She did this YouTube
Some
video
ninja shit
where
right there.
she's like, so
Ninjas don't sleep.
I
They're
went
like
to Las
sharks.
Vegas and
And she shows
she
her
has
rings.
She's got 3 rings, and she's like,
She has all 3 rings.
got married to a person, and his name is
She
Nick
does.
Diaz.
The engagement, the wedding, and the suffering.
Oh my.
However, on her YouTube video, she's had these rings for about a year.
Yeah.
And she was like,
Well, on her
I'm trying to
Instagram-
make money for my tiny house, and I'm selling this ring right here. If you're interested, please DM me.
This is
And
the kind
then
of
there's
girl.
another picture of these rings on her Instagram. Like, these are the only
Yeah.
possessions I own. And
Yeah.
then, like, another year goes by, and she's like, these are promises.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say
She's
this
the
is
ultimate
BS.
hobbit. She runs around with 3 rings.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, this is the kind of girl that if you marry her, you wake up to her watching you breathe while you sleep.
Right, do you still? Do you
She
still love
said
me?
her Mormon brother was the one who performed the ceremony.
So it's not even legal. If it did, like, that's what got me too. Like,
Hey, I'm ordained.
yes,
I
but
can
she
legally
didn't
provide.
I'm
So it was
ordained
a
as
Mormon.
well.
So it was a Mormon wedding. Did
I
they
don't-
step
I don't-
on the glass?
No,
I
they
don't know if
didn't.
it's
That's the
Mormon.
thing. That's why I'm calling bullshit on this because her whole description of the ceremony sounds suspect.
Did someone say tequila hava?
No, they put them up on chairs and bounce them around.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
Isn't that what they do?
Somebody allegedly.
Somebody fucking said Mazel Tov and broke the glass.
I haven't seen anything from Nick Diaz yet.
Come
personally.
on, Mazel Tov. Everybody knows that side of the Korean.
I haven't seen anything from Nick Diaz personally. However, there was a conversation that I've seen where somebody asked him, "Dude, you're married?" And he went, "Yeah," and that was it.
Shenanigans. We live in the 209. As far as we knew for a while that Nick had a pretty steady girlfriend. Granted, she was in a calendar.
We are not a credible source.
No,
We're not a credible source.
We
She
are
was in a
not.
calendar that I did years ago, but I haven't spoke to her since then. But as far as I knew, they were in a pretty steady relationship, so that's where I'm going with that. But you said his Snapchat was suspiciously void of any content.
Yeah, I haven't
over
seen anything, or unless he blocked me because I'm breaking the story. I mean, I don't know.
It could be. And then also,
Yeah, because what's his name? Cut
What?
us loose.
Who's that?
What's
Mayday?
his name? Shab.
Shab,
Brendan
yeah.
Shab.
Shab.
Oh yeah, Shab doesn't like us
have
anymore.
no idea why
We don't
Shab
even know what
blocked
I
us.
didn't even know we liked him, but
Yeah, but Brian Callen
Whatever, Shab.
right?
still likes us.
Still likes it.
That's good.
Yeah, so I don't know. And then also on his Instagram, he is in Vegas. He was in Vegas as of 2 days ago. She announced the wedding 4 days ago. So, but he's always in Vegas.
He's always in Vegas. He
Yeah.
gets paid to club, man.
Yeah, so
Because I got high. Because I got high. Because I got high.
got high. I don't think he's ever
We'll see.
not
We'll
high.
see what happens. We'll see what happens. Next story we're talking about here is Paige Vanzant has to pull out of her fight against Jessica I.
Womp womp.
This was supposed to be going out at UFC 216. This is next weekend, which we will be basically talking into that whole thing. She then posted on her... What was this? Was her Instagram?
Instagram, yeah.
I believe it was her Instagram. She posted also this little story. It says, when it rains, it pours. I have a herniated disc, double ear infection, sinus infection, pink eye, and ringworm all right now. Send me good vibes. And then if you look there at the bottom, Mr. Derek Lewis, his official Instagram account commented that you're supposed to eat ass after they shower, not before.
Which is solid advice.
It's solid advice.
From the Black Beast.
It is.
I mean,
it is.
always after the shower. It's like the 9-volt battery thing.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. I'm like a straight from the gym guy.
It's like
You know what I mean?
savory.
Yeah.
Savory.
It's
like
marinated.
basted.
Yeah.
It's basted.
Has other flavors attached to it.
Yeah.
So, and then she recently posted, I don't have this picture.
Just
I
checking
didn't-
your pH level.
I
It's all
didn't
good.
get a chance to get a picture of this before we started the show. There's a
Like
picture of
licking
her,
a 9-volt.
of her holding her 2 dogs, and she's all like smiling, looking all perfect, and someone's all, this was posted right after. What the fuck you doing holding dogs? You're gonna give them ringworm, because ringworm transfers between human
The
and canine
dogs probably gave her ringworm.
super fast, and she looked pretty fine. Like, she has no ear infection, she doesn't look sick, all this kind of shit.
Well, dude,
and then
chicks
it's
are
funny,
bomb with
someone
makeup.
zoomed in on the dogs' pictures, and the dogs are like,
All miserable.
yeah, and it's like, because you know you're about to get ringworm.
Exactly.
And then,
And they caught a double ear infection.
yeah, I think I saw this was posted
And
by
why she's not fighting? She's getting ring rust.
one of the MMA meme pages, and Derek Lewis commented on that photo and was like, I ain't saying shit.
Yeah. Derek Lewis, man, he's like the new Tim Boach. He is the
I like
he's
it.
the everyman.
Yeah, I
He's
like
getting it done.
Giggity.
Tony Ferguson is having an interesting week.
This shit's weird, man. So we posted this up on our Instagram and our Facebook page with Fabricio Werdum and Tony Ferguson. We're at the same presser with Ariel Wani.
No, I mean, they were just MMA fighting was there.
MMA fighting.
It was an MMA, what they call an MMA media lunch. So if you're in the Las Vegas area and you're a large MMA media outlet, you can go there and get interviews with the fighters at the new facility.
Okay.
This is what was going down. Tony Ferguson was having an interview with somebody right next to Werdum, who was having an interview with somebody, and Werdum was getting a little loud. So Tony leaned over and goes, yo, man, just stop talking while I'm in the middle of this.
Oh, wow.
And Werdum started cursing at him in Portuguese.
Oh, he started calling him all kinds of Maricon.
Yeah.
Maricon was thrown around a lot.
A lot, yeah. Started cursing at him, telling him he's a clown, all this stuff, all in Portuguese. And Tony looks at him and is like, man, I don't know what the fuck you're saying. So they start saying it in Spanish. They start going, so Werdum starts going back in between Spanish and Portuguese, basically just cursing him out and saying, you're a clown, fuck you, you're a clown. You're a dog's asshole. You know what I mean? Like all kinds of shit.
And Ferguson keeps telling him to callete.
Hey, shut up, I'm talking. Yeah, shut up. And then they get up. I think it was Mark Reitner had to get in between them. Somebody had to get in between them and separate them, and they made Werdum leave so that the rest of the presser can continue.
So bizarre, dude.
Tony Ferguson, man, is in
How
this
bizarre?
whole fuck
So
this
bizarre.
in this fuck the world kind of mentality right now. And he even mentioned in this little thing, if you catch it, he goes, I told you guys when I get the spotlight, you're not gonna like me. That I'm gonna be real, everybody else is fake. He's basically saying everybody's fake. I'm the realest motherfucker in the room.
He's telling the guy who submitted Fedor that he was going to ankle pick him.
Yeah, I'll ankle pick you, which is fucking great.
That made me laugh.
Yeah.
I literally laughed at that.
Tony Ferguson was also like in a Twitter beef with Eddie Alvarez recently. He was in a Twitter beef with.
I like being able to see outside. He's showing. Hey, look, he's showing me.
I don't want to see.
He's showing me his oatmeal.
He's in a lot of things. So we actually are going to get a chance to interview Tony next week.
Next week, yeah.
We've set this up, so I'm excited to hear what he has to say about all this.
I want to know if he really thinks he can beat Werdum.
Well, I also just saw today before the show started that Mark Hunt said that Werdum should basically not be picking on a lightweight, and if you want to have a real fight, you can come fight me.
I'm down.
I'm down to see that. Mark Hunt against Werdum. It'd be a good fight. Also, a little bit more out of
Got to
this.
see Mark Hunt fight again before he forgets his ABCs.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know how many more fights we're gonna see.
My favorite insult, though, of that whole video was "Have fun being on my undercard."
Oh,
is
yeah.
what Tony Ferguson told Werdum.
yeah.
Yeah.
But Werdum didn't understand it.
No, it was
didn't
pretty
matter.
good. Also on this, Sean Shelby recently came out and said that to clear things up, we offered this fight to Nurmagomedov November 4th at the 217 Bisbing GSP card. We offered him Tony Ferguson for the interim belt. His team declined.
Of course he did.
So that's even more Twitter beef that was going on between Tony Ferguson. Like I said, he's going after everybody. I think he called out Chael too.
Like, I wonder
on
if
Twitter.
Khabib's like, if there's like a language misunderstanding or something, and they think they're saying yes, and they just keep saying no. They're like, why don't we get a fucking fight?
Yeah,
we told them fucking yes, and they keep saying we said no.
I don't know if he don't want money, or I don't know why this guy's not fighting.
Because he's on team no.
He can't make weight. He gets sick all the time.
But I'm just saying, you're not. If you're
They
not,
both, I mean, the first time they tried to get him, both guys get injured, Ferguson and Khabib,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, okay, it happens. And then the second time, he couldn't put down tiramisu and couldn't make weight,
Right.
and had to go to the hospital. And now the third time, he's got injured again. I don't know.
Fighting bears.
Too busy fighting bears. Rashad Evans, who just turned 38 on Monday, says that he doesn't know if he can retire. He says, I can't retire like this. I would never know peace again in my life. Endless nights I'd be looking at the ceiling, unable to accept reality. I have to talk everything over. And he's basically talking about, is he going to retire kind of on a loss and skip moving divisions and doesn't have the belt anymore? You know, what do you guys think? Do you think for Rashad to retire?
I cringed the last two fights I watched him fight.
I think he's definitely lost a step. You know, there's plenty of guys that have made it into their 40s fighting. Not as well as Randy Couture did it all the way up until, what, 46?
Yeah, it was for a while, yeah.
But, I mean, Rashad looks like one of the guys who could still do it, but he's got to figure something out.
He says that basically his last two fights when he dropped to middleweight and he's lost two split decisions, that they're not flukes, that they're just, that's not the level he needs to be at. Maybe he needs to go back to 205. Or he needs to retire. He's not quite sure yet. But again, he says he doesn't think he can let himself sleep if he's going to retire now and like that.
Or is he going to retire on 3 losses?
I mean, yeah, at what point do you say, do you think he just does one of those things like a lot of fighters are doing now? My next fight's my retirement fight. Win or lose. I mean, if I lose, I obviously don't have it. If I win, cool, I got to go on a win.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Rashad's one of those guys.
And then what does
will-
he do? He goes to Sean Shelby and is like, come on, just give me somebody I can win.
Yeah,
You know?
totally. He gets Ferguson.
It's possible. Jeremy Stevens was
I'm not saying he could beat Ferguson, but Ferguson's 70 pounds lighter. That's why I say that.
Jeremy Stevens is recently on Twitter. He's basically calling out his fight. He wanted to fight Jose Aldo. Obviously, we know Korean Zombie wanted to fight Jose Aldo after his last win. Korean Zombie is out with a knee injury at the moment. But yeah, so Jeremy Stevens tweeted this. He says, hearing Jose doesn't want none. What's up with Korean Zombie? I'd like to fight him too. Any translators that can get him to step up? Which Korean Zombie, I thought this was fucking hilarious, tweets the Conor McGregor. Yeah. Who the fuck is that guy? Pretty good.
Awesome troll
Pretty
job.
good. Good job, Korean Zombie. So, I mean, I'd like to see Korean Zombie versus Aldo or Jeremy Stevens. I'm down for either
You
one.
like watching him fight regardless.
He's good, and he won his last fight.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you.
And Jose Aldo didn't. Jose Aldo just lost to Max Holloway.
Well, there's some talk about Aldo at 218 is gonna
fight?
That's
Yeah.
a huge weight class.
Who's
for
gonna
him.
fight?
No, I don't know. No, Felice Herrig put down a list. It was a handwritten list, and there was big question marks on the side. It also had her, but it had a pretty good list of fights that were going to go on.
That
And
she was being matchmaker?
I don't know if she was the matchmaker or if it was something that somebody had told her was going to happen.
Is that the Christmas card?
Yeah, that might be the Easter card. I don't know. I don't remember. Conor McGregor, the last time we heard basically some news about him was when he was fighting Floyd Mayweather. To continue on that, he had this bottle that he was running around with.
Oops.
You're right there.
No.
He was running around with at the presser saying that he was going to take over the Irish whiskey markets. He's going to have Notorious Irish whiskey coming soon. Keep your eye out for it. It tastes good. However,
Somebody owns the rights.
somebody owns the rights to the word notorious for any drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, in the European Union Intellectual Property Office.
You're going to fight Conor McGregor to keep your rights?
Well, I'd
'Cause you're gonna
gladly
have to
sell
now.
it to him for 75% of your profit.
Yeah, I'm sure at some point the guy will probably sell. This guy has Notorious Red IPA. That's the only thing that he's made with the Notorious name. Furthermore, I spent probably the better of a couple hours looking at the bottle and all the information I could on his whiskey, and not one single distiller has said they are in talks with Conor McGregor
Really?
about producing it, number one. Number two, on the bottle, he listed it as whiskey with a Y, no EY. Whiskey with a Y means Scotch.
Okay.
So
it has to sit for 10 years, right?
Even on his own bottle, it was misspelled, and all Irish whiskey is with an EY, which is huge in Ireland.
And you can't make scotch. if
Jimmy,
you're not
that's
in
the last
Scotland.
time you print labels.
Yeah, pretty much is what it comes down to. So, I don't know.
You're a bad bootlegger.
There's no saying that he can't have whiskey with a Y in Ireland. There's no laws against that. And most of the Japanese whiskeys have it with the Y because they make it the Scottish method. They cannot call it Scotch because it's not made in Scotland, but they can call it whiskey with a Y. So there's no.
It's like champagne in France.
Yeah, there's no law that says he can't have an Irish whiskey without the EY. It would just be weird because every Irish whiskey is EY, and if you're trying to be I'm the most Irish guy fucking possible, and I'm gonna sell everything Irish. You think you would know how to spell the whiskey that your country has.
Interesting to me, though, this is very much in the true form of Conor McGregor saying that he's going to do something before anything is actually even done.
Yeah, has a bottle that somebody made a fake label
Somebody made a fake label on.
I guarantee I guarantee you by the end of this year, we will have that bottle on this wall because I can do that.
Yeah. but I'm just saying, when you have $10-20 million.
No, but before he even had money, he was saying what was going to happen, and then he was making it happen.
Okay.
He talked his way up the division. He talked his way in title fights.
But I'm just saying,
his way into the Mayweather fight.
At the end of this fight, I mean, he could say, "I'm going to make anything," and pretty much he can produce at least 10,000 of something.
There was a Congolese fucking liquor store that was like, "We're going to be the first ones to carry it," and took a picture of like the bottle that he was carrying.
Really?
Oh yeah, they're like, we have it. It's coming soon to our liquor store. Nobody knows when it's going to happen.
You can't order it anywhere, but we're going to have it.
But we're going to have it.
Something's coming soon. When? I don't know.
Drink like a winner.
Someday.
Or a loser. Like, I mean, he did lose that fight.
It's true.
Gabriel Gonzaga is going to be boxing. I think we talked about this, a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, we briefly touched on it.
He says that many people say things that they don't know what they were talking about, like when people said that McGregor had a chance to win. And they still say that he was winning the fight and that he would win. Fans are emotive and never experience it like this, so I can't judge when they're wrong or not. I don't pay attention to what people say, especially when they don't know what they're talking about. He is basically 100% saying that he is going to box and do well. He's going to make his pro boxing debut in a 4-round match in Washington, D.C. against Orlando Pugh? P-U-G-H. You tell me. The guy is 1 in 10.
The guy's 1 in 10?
1 in 10.
Why do you still fight?
Because he's got to fight someone coming in who's
0-0.
Jobber.
These things happen.
Your job is to literally get your ass kicked. That's why I quit at 1-0
today, Todd.
So do you think Gabriel Gonzaga, who's 0-0 in boxing, has a chance against a guy who's 1 in 10?
I think I have a chance against a guy who's fucking 1 in 10.
You know what kind of chance he's had? I've learned this.
Better than McGregor's?
He has a puncher's chance.
It's a very technical term.
It's a term that's been thrown around a lot.
A lot.
We're gonna
a lot
coin
of
it.
boxing experts.
Yeah.
Service mark that. It's ours now.
Puncher's chance.
Newly signed UFC fighter Azmat Mercado
Murzakanov.
was supposed to be
Murzakanov.
supposed to be having his debut sometime this year. I think it was back in June, at 112, but he had to be replaced due to injury. We have now found out that the UFC has announced that he did fail a anti-doping policy violation as found by USADA.
All right.
So
It doesn't say what though. It just says
out of competition sample. That's all it says. So we will get more news as that kind of comes out. One big crazy thing that happened. Speaking of USADA, this was going down in Thailand, where Christine Cyborg Justino was training with some friends over at Top Team Phuket Top Team.
Oh, okay.
Which is that the one that Mike Swick runs?
No, he's AKA Thailand.
He's AKA Thailand. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is the Phuket Top Team. The original guy who wrote this is Ian Kidd. This guy writes for Bloody Elbow. He originally tweeted, "Someone called the cops on USADA agent sent to get Chris Cyborg's anti-doping sample to prevent them from taking the test." So this guy made this statement on Twitter. Immediately, Cyborg says, "I gave my sample without hesitation. I have no failed whereabouts in the past 12 months, and I wanted to maintain that despite this incident that happened." So he jumped ahead and wrote this whole story, basically kind of insinuating that she had somebody
That
from
she
her
was
team
ditching a test,
or trying to stop a test or something like that.
But she had already taken the test.
Yeah, I haven't seen a retractment from this guy, but this is shitty journalism.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to have that anymore. All you have to be is the one that got it out there, and it doesn't even have to be real anymore.
Apparently, they have a history together too.
Yeah, apparently they have a history together. So also, what had happened is this is coming from Phuket Top Team as well as people in her camp that are saying she had already given the sample. That basically what had happened was that she was at a hotel and the hotel management was notified of 2 people booking the room next to hers and asking questions about her incessantly. And then, come to find out, they were knocking on her door demanding a urine sample. So someone in the staff, the hotel staff, was like, "Well, this is fucking weird. Like, this seems like a fucking stalker for a fighter. Like, call the cops."
Yeah.
The staff called the cops. She had already got her test. Was making sure she made sure everything went through. Come to find out, these guys may or may not have had the proper work visas. Even USADA has come out and said, "Look, everything's fine. She passed her test. Like, or we got the test. It's already in the sample."
So we do know it was USADA people,
So-
not just urine collectors.
Hey, so do they set up a lab? Do they set up a lab? Is that why? I don't understand why they had to get a room next to her.
So she can't run, man.
But I'm just saying, it's like they like take the pee, they go in the next room, they have a kit, they dump it in.
It's a little pool thing.
It's the little pool test.
So 1, 2, 3.
So
4,
apparently they had
5.
sent some technicians to go
nitrogen
and handle
levels
the
through the
sample
roof.
taking, and then they were going to take it to
Some
Japan where it
anti-algae
is.
in there.
It is officially documented and taken. So it seems just very, very strange. And again, come to find out, USADA has cleared everything and said, "Look, she did everything on her part that she was supposed to do. She didn't call the cops on us. Everything's fine."
Well, this guy hasn't retracted his statement because he's disappeared.
So very, very interesting situation with Cyborg.
It's not really interesting because it's done. She's cleared through USADA. It's just weird because of this guy who probably got Clintoned.
Who made it
So
weird?
it's fine.
Who made it
He
weird.
Made it weird.
Got Clinton.
He got Clintoned.
Chuck Liddell is now over and interested in possibly fighting in Bellator.
Nope.
I'm telling you, he's already contracted to fight.
People take things out of context. I'm never going to say 100% no, but Chael is an easy fight. If I was going to come back, that's a good one. It's a good warm-up fight. He's got a big mouth, not much behind it. I think that's why he developed the WWE style. And then Chael Sonnen immediately tweeted, "Chuck, say when." Put that up on his Twitter.
I don't think that Chael knocks out Chuck, to be honest with you, but I just don't want to see Chuck fight anymore.
Right. But like I'm telling you, Chuck was brought. He's in the Bellator to fight Tito. Tito had his surgery. I don't think that they're going to.
Tito retired.
I'm just telling you how it was all set up.
It's like a WWE
Scott Coker
storyline.
says. Scott Coker
Storyline?
says.
Is that what you're thinking? Some kind of storyline?
It's how it was all working out.
Scott Coker says, "I'd have to talk to Viacom about this. There's definitely a whole battery of tests, and it would be a much longer process than he would be fighting. He wouldn't be able to even start to fight until January. I've got to reach out to him and see if maybe he'll do some fan fest stuff for us first, be in our community, but that's it. There is no fight for him. We have not even had that conversation." That's coming from Scott Coker.
Okay.
Saying that they obviously, they're signing a bunch of legends. They have Hoist Gracie, they have Shamrock, they have Vanderlei. Hell, these guys that originally at one time were just going to be ambassadors for them.
We're used to the smoke and mirrors from this guy.
From this guy right here, yeah.
So
This is
I don't
Mr.
know.
Dana White joining us in the studio, by the way.
Yeah.
He's an inaction figure.
Do you see this crazy UFC belt he's got on that's spray painted or painted over in black?
That's kind of crazy.
It's kind of funny. I've never seen Dana White wear that belt, but I kind of want to.
Hey, clown shoes.
You goof.
You goof.
You fucking goof. Announced at Ryzen, we are going to have a legendary fight. Frank Shamrock will be taking on Sakuraba. In a non-MMA, just only grappling match.
I'm going to submit him by pulling on his ear.
I'm all right with this. It's a grappling match.
Yeah,
it's
that's
kind of
fine.
cool.
That's cool.
It's just like the Submission Underground shit that they
Yeah.
put the legends
Yeah,
together. Or
that's
or at International Fight Week, they get 2 guys that are like, hey, these guys used to be fighters. Let's have them at least do jiu-jitsu.
I just think it's awesome because you haven't seen Frank. Frank's been gone, dude.
Yeah. Got that Invisalign, man, and then you haven't
Took
seen
Did he actually get the Invisalign?
No, it's still regular braces.
Jesus Christ. Spring for the Invisalign, Frank. What the fuck, man? You were on TV, for fuck's sake.
Hey, he's got local ties, dude. He'll come down here and kick your ass.
It's true. Well, his brother might kick a woman's ass, but that actually happened at our mall, sir.
That's right.
Don't shake your head.
We can do it. Hey, you know what, Frank? We can do a tag team match. You bring your brother. I'll go find a chick at the mall, and we can rock and roll. It's all good.
Oh, just like that, they're not coming to our new studio. Thanks a lot. Yep.
UFC co-main event for 218 has been announced. Alistair Overeem will be taking on Francis Ngannou. I'm excited for this fight.
Isn't this another one that Dana said was not going to happen?
Yes.
I didn't see him say no. I thought he couldn't jump the line to be able to get a title shot. That's
Okay.
what I thought.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
I know.
So, okay, all right. Overeem versus Ngannou. I think that Ngannou's got this.
Yeah?
I haven't been able to get excited about Overeem fighting because he's another one of those guys that looks like he's kind of lost a step lately. But
Still win fights.
didn't he lose his last one?
No, I'm pretty sure he won.
Well, one of us is right.
Well, yeah, because he either won or lost. Should I look up his brother Valentin? What has he been doing?
Holy shit, I forgot about Valentin.
Oh, speaking of brothers, our friend here, Fedor, his brother, Alexander, the Red Devil that just came out of prison, had his first fight back in the MMA and
Murdered
won.
the guy.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I mean, I think it was Geronimo dos Santos, which that guy always gets murdered by everybody.
Wait, who did he fight for?
I think it was a Russian league.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he just beat Werdum. Remember?
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Oh, so that's why fucking Ferguson's feeling all hot. You just lost to fucking Overeem, bitch. I'm gonna ankle pick you.
And then we have further bouts to announce for UFC 219. The first one being Dominic Cruz against Jimmy Riviera. That's a pretty cool bout. Riviera saying that he vows to retire Cruz just like he Rivera. What I said? Riviera. Yeah, got it. So he says he's going to retire
To 0.
He's going to retire. He's going to retire Cruz just like he retired Faber.
Is that what he thinks?
Yep.
Okay. I don't think so.
No.
He might take a 3-year break again, but
It's because he has zombie hands. Everything breaks on that man.
Cruz knows how to win. I don't see that happening.
And then we have Carla Esparza going up against Cynthia Cavillo.
Yep, out of sack.
I like that fight.
Yep.
I was wondering when Carla was going to fight again.
Yeah.
Good to see her back.
And Ashley Evans Smith's going to get mad at us because we're going to be all on Team Cavillo.
And then we have some bit of news that happened this week. The UFC signed Andrea KGB Lee. And then immediately she was supposed to fight at UFC 216. And immediately USADA was like, nope.
Because she admitted to a diuretic violation.
That was, no. Because she had not been in USADA's testing pool for 6 months.
Oh.
Now, remember, Mr. Lesnar hadn't been in the testing pool for 6 months, but the UFC was able to waive it because he hadn't had any failed tests. Whereas KGB had a failed test
right.
within the last 6 months. Even though her newest tests come out clean, she has to be clean
But it
for
wasn't,
6 months.
You know what I mean? But it wasn't steroids.
No, it wasn't. It was a diuretic. You're right. However, because it was recent, she has to be in the testing pool for 6 months clean. Since Lesnar was gone for 2.5 years, technically he was clean, and then
Well,
come to find out
he was a
new fighter, and they come to find out he wasn't fucking clean.
Of course he wasn't fucking clean.
So, and I think that's why USADA's like, yeah, you're not doing that shit again. Sorry, nobody's getting waived. You, you're gonna
We're
have
in
to-
court right now over this shit.
Yeah,
Fool me once.
it's not going to happen. So we hopefully will see
Can't
Andrea
fool me
Lee
again.
in the UFC very, very soon. There was rumors that she had been signed for a very long time now, that it was going to happen. It was going to happen. It was going to happen. She did get signed. She got put on the card and immediately pulled out.
Stay clean, KGB.
Stay
Yeah.
clean. Stay clean.
We will, and speaking of, Fedor's brother, we will never see him in the UFC.
No, I don't think so.
Well, unless they fucking cure hepatitis, we're not going to see him in the UFC. That's when he got signed to the UFC to begin with the first time.
And they were like,
did the
nope.
blood test. They were like, no, you can't do it. So that's why he went back over there and then he went to prison.
And then he went to prison.
Gave everybody else hepatitis. Possibly. I don't know if that's true.
Ultimate Fighter 26 going on. Going to be crowning us a new UFC Women's 125-pound
125.
champion.
Whoever wins that belt is going to lose it immediately to whoever challenges them in the UFC.
Sajara Eubanks defeated Maya Stevenson with a Kimura in the second round.
Good for her.
So that's your little update on that. I also did like that, yeah. To make weight, she cut her dreadlocks off, so she lost a pound. Or excuse me, half a pound.
There you go.
I remember doing that in wrestling.
You cut your hair?
Yeah, it didn't help me win at all.
Was all your power, Samson?
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's what it was.
UFC Fight Night 117. Saint Peru versus Okami happened in Japan.
This was a pretty good fight card, man.
Pretty good, yeah.
I thought it was enjoyable.
It was enjoyable for sure. I'm going to start off there.
Yeah, if you want to zoom in.
Zoom into like
Yeah, it was weird.
900%.
I liked going home and watching a fight, but like I'm trying to put on a show at the same time while I'm trying to do editing and getting us out there. So
And your main
it was
card?
nice. And I don't know.
Are we going to go with the prelims or no? That's fine. Husier Formiga up against Uka Sasaki. This was a rear naked choke in favor of Husier. This ended in the first round. Then Teruto Ishihara got a win over Rolando D, whatever. This one surprised me.
So Teruto, by the way, Mr. Ichihara, won it for his bitches. I mean, that's what he always says. It's all
won
about
it for his
bitches.
bitches.
So,
But he couldn't say it, right? Dana told him.
I told him we're not allowed to say
we're
it
talking
anymore.
about the bitches.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think he's
Yeah.
allowed to say anymore, but I will be getting a bitch shirt. I mean, I have
Yeah.
to. This is awesome.
No more the bitches for you.
And then Gokhan Saki got a win over Henrique Silva. Now, Henrique Silva looked like he was rattling Gokhan. He was landing a bunch of shots, and then all of a sudden, Gokhan was like, "Nah, I'm good.
Saki bomb, bitch.
Yeah, good night. I'm sick of you punching me in the face."
That's what you get for going up against a guy who is a kickboxing champion.
Yeah.
But he did say he is going to have to learn other things in MMA, as well as how to change his cardio because he's used to a different set of rounds.
He looked good. He took some shots from Enrique. Like I said, he looked rattled, but then all of a sudden he turned it on and
Oh,
just
my God.
put Enrique to sleep. Then Dong Hun Kim took out the legend Takanori Gomi with a TKO in the very first round in 90
Pride
seconds.
never die.
No, Pride dead.
Except for Pride causes CTE.
Yeah.
That's what it fucking was.
Yeah, Pride dead.
Pride CTE forever. Gomi's been in some wars and it has shown.
Well, he's fucking 72 years old. What are you going to do? Jessica Andrade's got a win over Claudia Gadea.
This was a fucking brawl.
I was
Wow,
surprised.
dude.
I was really
I
surprised.
thought Gadea had round one.
But do you guys see what I mean about Andrade's power?
Yeah, I mean, I thought Gadea had round one, though. I did. Did you?
Okay. I don't know.
Maybe just at the beginning?
I can't unsee the other 3 rounds. You know
Two
what I mean?
rounds? Yeah, okay, I can understand that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I
But,
think Gadea had left round one.
I will say that after the first round, I still had some faith that Gadelia could pull it out.
Yeah, but it diminished quickly.
Yeah.
And Oven St. Preux got one of the very few Von Flue choke finishes over Yushin
Excuse
Okami.
me, sure, that is now the Von Peru choke.
Yeah, because this is 5th?
You can't just take it away from him.
I
Fourth or
asked
fifth?
Mr. Jason Von Flue myself, and he still hasn't responded on Twitter.
Imagine
but
that.
I am definitely, definitely going to say that. I mean, even Dan Hardy, who's doing the commentary, is like, I think we should change it to the Von Peru choke. So they give it to them both. You know, it's mutual.
I think if you put a little more honey on your Twitter stuff, you'd catch more flies. You're kind of vicious. Hey, bitch, can you believe this shit? You let him change the name of your thing? I don't think so. Fuck that. What do you say?
He has 3 out of the 5 that have been done in the UFC. Yeah.
Nice. It's a pretty solid choke. What I liked about this one too was that with his setup on it, if you were unsure of what a Von Flue choke was, like you
could definitely
could tell exactly what he was doing. It was just like super technical.
Except for Okami, who had no idea what was going on. His eyes were still awake while he was unconscious.
Oh yeah,
he was fucking out quick. I don't think I've ever seen anybody pass out that
because it was
that fast
almost
with a choke either.
it was almost textbook how it was being laid on him. Like you said, I mean, it was just
Yeah. Like Yushin Okami never seen it before. He's dead. So that's UFC Fight Night 117 that took place in Japan. We also had Bellator that went down the very next night. Where was this at again?
This was in San Jose.
That wasn't San Jose.
That's
where he came
more
from.
views, which got more views than the UFC.
In Japan? That's
Yeah.
not fucking surprising.
Well,
This
I'm
was
just
on
saying.
prime time.
Well, and they were saying because
and this was on Saturday.
That's what I'm saying.
And
because
then
of
the
the
UFC
Friday
was on FXX. Who the
Yeah,
fuck
on
has
FXX,
I don't know what
yeah.
that is.
But they did close to 1 million views.
Wasn't there also something else going on in that card? Like something else going on Friday?
I don't know.
I thought there was
I
something
don't know.
else.
Actually, the Bellator card was awesome. It was a good card.
Got Kevin Ferguson Jr. taking on DJ Griffin. Finishes that one with a big TKO in the first round. Then Alex Lahore goes up against Dan Edwards. Finishes that one with TKO in the second round for Alex. Chet Congo got a split decision over Augusto Sakai. And then Linton Vassell. Wait, what?
This isn't the right one.
isn't the right one.
No, it's because I zoomed
I was
in.
like, what the? Yeah.
Because I zoomed in. It moved up like 3 fucking
This
cards.
doesn't look like anything that we were talking about.
Yeah.
last
No,
week.
nothing. Because I zoomed in for Blindy McBlinderson over here.
Didn't we fucking interview one of these guys?
There we go.
There it is.
There we go.
All right, how about this? How about Cody Yamuchi up against Adam Piccolotti? You got a first round rear naked choke in favor of Goiti.
I was like, I kept looking at him like, I was
Look at-
looking down, I was like, this does not sound at all.
No,
Yeah, I'm like,
I was looking for the Pico fight.
Yeah.
That's all because that was like a
I'm on-
walk-off knockout, right?
I'm looking at it going, we didn't interview any of these motherfuckers. So. Aaron Pico, yeah, you got a walk-off KO up against Justin Lin.
So the hype train back on?
Yeah, dude, didn't he kick his mouth guard into the audience?
I don't know.
I think, was that him or was that Sakai who did that?
I don't know now.
But is that, I mean, hype train back on?
Maybe. It's hard. It's hard. I mean,
Like, do you
Here
buy
today,
the, are you
gone
buying
tomorrow.
the ticket again? Or are you buying the ticket?
I'm not buying the ticket.
No?
It was
Not gonna
awesome, though. It was an awesome KO.
All right.
I will definitely DVR it.
Roy Nelson didn't die against Javi Ayala. This went to unanimous decision.
He didn't even look tired.
No.
He was like, everybody get in the pig car. We're getting ribs.
And Paul Daly knocked the shit out of Lorenz Larkin.
Yeah, I haven't texted
dude.
Lorenz Larkin about the bobblehead. I haven't texted him like, sorry about your luck. I just don't even know if I should
no.
text him.
If you text him, he's going to be like, new phone, who dis?
Yeah. All I gotta say is, Paul, whatever you did, whatever you channeled for what this fight, this is what you should have been doing the whole time, man.
It's because he just wants somebody to stand with him. If you will stand with Paul Daly, this is the fight he will give you.
Yeah.
If you go to take him down, he's like, fuck it.
Guess we're laying down now.
Guess we're doing laying down shit.
Oh, so that's
But
what
he
we're
tried,
doing now.
He tried some
So
spinning.
that's what we're doing
Tried
now.
some spinning shit, missed, and then he comes back with a fucking left hand.
Oh, yeah.
And Lorenz Larkin went, hey, you got nachos? Dude, I'm trying to order nachos. Like,
He forgot. He was fucking fighting. Somebody on Reddit was like,
Oh, my God.
He looked like he lost something in that moment. I said, yeah, all of fourth grade. It's just fucking gone now.
just boom, got hit and turned. Like, and just looked into the audience like, somebody over here can help me,
Somebody,
right?
what'd you say?
Somebody else could take this
He
puck.
said, somebody texted me, said Paul Daly just rang the Watercross bell.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, yeah, he definitely rang that Riverside bell.
Yeah, he put a fucking
Rung
crack in
that
the Liberty
Riverside bell.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Poor Lorenz Larkin, man.
He's gonna be talking to his kids. They're gonna be asking about school, and he's gonna go from third to fifth grade teacher. He's like, "Where had you having fourth? I don't know."
I don't know.
1, 2, 3, 5.
And then Patricky Pitbull Ferrari up against Benson Henderson, who's had no luck in Bellator.
Has had no luck at Bellator or has had a typical Benson Henderson fight. Another decision.
Yep.
So
Another
Split
decision.
decision.
okay, so coming off these two fights, I mean, both these guys who lost, top 10 fighters in the UFC.
Okay.
Okay,
No, Benson
Just-
was. Lorenz, I don't think Lorenz was.
I think he cracked the top 10.
All right.
I think he did at one point.
So is this given any legitimacy to Bellator fights at this point?
Oh, I think that I never thought that Bellator didn't have legitimacy to their fights. They came out swinging. They started picking up talent from the UFC. They got Rory McDonald fighting in January. I'm looking forward to that fight. They're lining up the fights that people want to see
For sure.
And I think that they're definitely taking the company in a direction that is going to.
I think that fans want to see.
Yeah,
I think they're taking the company in a direction fans want to see.
And sooner or later, it's going to start giving the UFC some serious competition.
I mean, you got the fight. We call them freak show fights. We talk about all the bullshit all the time, but it's like I was legitimately interested in watching Tito and Chael because of just how much shit they talk.
Yeah.
And it's the legends fight that we wanted to see.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? When Hoist fought fucking Shamrock again, it's like, oh my God, this
Yeah.
is a fucking freak show fight. What time is it on?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
but see, on
it's
the-
a bunch of bullshit. To
Right.
me, it reminds me of Pride. It reminds me of Strike Force.
I
Like,
don't-
when are we going to have a heavyweight Grand Prix? You know for a fact Scott Coker is going to have a Grand Prix at some point.
But I don't.
Maybe not heavyweight, but at some point he's going to have some sort of. Maybe he's going to have an open weight.
As fragile as
Like
these
fucking
fighters,
Pride.
as fragile as these fighters are now, can we do that?
But that's the thing. I mean,
We can't even make guys with 12-week camps can't even.
But I
make
mean,
it to
the
a fight.
Pride ones always did. It wasn't like it was all in one night. It was we're gonna have a whole big tournament this night, and then we're gonna have like 2 or 3 cards, and then the semifinals, 2 or
Yeah.
3 cards, and then the finale. So I mean, it's possible. It's the same thing they did with the
Right.
Grand Prix when he was in Strike Force.
yeah, sure, why
Right.
not?
But it was interesting. I mean, do you remember that fucking Strike Force original lineup?
Yeah, but then that's.
I mean, we lost 2 of the 3 of the fighters.
Isn't
out of
that
it?
how we got introduced to Daniel Cormier?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it was Daniel Cormier, fucking
No,
Fedor,
he was a replacement.
Overeem. No, he was in it.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Overeem was in it. Remember, he got pulled out.
Yeah.
Fedor was in it. What's his name?
That's
Fucking-
when Werdum beat Fedor, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like the whole thing was just like, what is happening?
This is really going down. Yeah.
Yeah. But
shit.
I think I do. I agree. I think that Bellator is making the move to fights fans want to see. And moving the company forward. But like you said, but what legitimacy do you see with fighters from the UFC going over? Are they grabbing the wrong fighters? Or do you think that it's just their time now that they're losing? Like this would have happened in the UFC regardless.
Well, obviously it's not working for Benson Henderson, but it's working out for like Rory McDonald is doing just fine. No Paul Daly, obviously.
Roy
is doing
Nelson?
just fine. Roy Nelson's doing just fine.
Yeah.
I think that it is. It's the UFC's mistake. It's their loss is definitely Bellator's game, which
For
is
sure.
what we're seeing. You know,
For sure.
And WME doesn't give a shit about cutting talent right now.
It doesn't seem like it. No.
Would you say that MMA in the lightweight division has a lot of fighters across the board to choose from? Because I'm saying, like you guys saying, Roy Nelson's doing pretty well, but I mean, really,
As well in the heavyweight division, there's nobody there.
There's not, and
and
nobody,
Chuck.
nobody has
Him and Czech
nobody,
Congo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody has a heavyweight
That's strong.
stacked.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
right.
like Stipe. Who's Stipe going to fight?
Yeah,
No, I understand what you mean. So you're saying that the competition isn't stiff.
yeah. The competition for lightweight even welterweight.
But all that matters right now is getting eyes on the screen. So if you got names that people recognize, and
Chuck
you're going to pull people and you're going to get eyes on the screen. And the more eyes you get on the screen, the more talent you can develop.
And that's why, honestly, I asked the question to you. I know I kind of sounded like an asshole, and I have no problem saying that I did. But about PFL. Is PFL trying to be like Strikeforce was back in the day and build new talent? Are they trying to build new divisions and build new guys up? Because who do they have? You were asking, are they going to grab UFC fighters? That was the question. Are they going to grab UFC fighters?
My thing is, I want to know how many UFC fighters or Bellator fighters are they in talks with? Are they trying to pull
for their tournament?
Yeah,
tournaments. Because all they have right now is John Fitch.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, that's the big name. They just lost Okami back to the UFC, which makes me wonder: do they have some sort of friendly relationship with the UFC?
Right.
I doubt that.
Well, what I was trying to put together is if they don't have a good 6-month push at the beginning of this thing, with who's seeded and who they're bringing in, I don't think it's going to take off like it needs to.
They want to, yeah.
But if, like you say, like they bring in 3 or 4 big names in this division that everybody knows, and then they bring in these other guys that nobody knows that they're going to build up, and then it's like a win-loss, you know, like one of the people we know wins, and then the next guy we know loses to this up-and-comer, and it's a mixed bag. I think that would be better for PFL.
Probably, but I honestly feel like they're not. I feel like they're going to have a bunch of...
And even if they don't do that...
Rookies that are kind of, you know, how about unknowns, you know what I mean, or guys that aren't really as well-known, getting pushed through this tournament, and I think they're going to try to create talent like Strikeforce did, and like Bellator in the original incarnation did. There was guys you were like, who the fuck is that? And then then you start seeing them win, you're like... When's this guy got to go to the UFC?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's where I
what
want to see.
Daniel Cormier was. Yeah. He was nobody, and now he's a champ.
I mean, Lawrence Larkin started in Strikeforce, and he was pretty good in Strikeforce.
Because as much as people want to get on McGregor's nuts, there's another 25 or 30 McGregors out there. That just need to be found, and they need to be brought to the stage. And what weight division they're in, I don't know. You know. I have to believe that there's a heavyweight out there. I mean, like Nick just talked to that Mo the Pirate. I mean, he's ranked 15 nationwide as a heavyweight, but he's not fighting for a big
organization. Yeah.
So I mean, how many of those guys are out there in the gyms that can't make it to a big card because they got to work their 40-hour week?
I think that's kind of what Dana White's whole looking for a fight, or he became the contender. You know what I mean? Yeah. That was his whole thing, is he wanted to go to the regionals and find guys and pluck them out.
Yeah, because there's some corn-fed motherfuckers in Nebraska that are chucking hay bales and can't fucking make it to the fight on the Indian reservation because they got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and feed the chickens.
Oh yeah, and they can't talk Dad into, hey Dad, I need to miss like 2. Well, who's gonna feed the chickens?
That ain't happening.
You know? You know, Dana or somebody needs somebody out to feed the chickens.
You better call them.
This guy's going to feed the chickens while Junior's gone.
Well, Junior's gone, exactly.
I got to thank our friend Brad Smith for getting us this for the
Thanks,
studio.
Brad, because we really wanted one of those things, and we appreciate you getting it. And that's pretty much it for this week. No fights going down this weekend. Big thanks to our sponsors, MyMMAnews.com. They do this 24/7. We do it once a week, so if you want breaking news, follow them on Twitter or Instagram.
Unless Eric wants to sit next to a fire and not have to work.
Or if he wants to watch if he wants to watch a 9-toed woman on a treadmill. I mean, that's all up to him.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to, or he looks at his folder of buttholes. I have no idea. Whatever Eric does with his free time.
Yeah. And you can check Eric out on My MMA Radio.
Yeah, he's got his own show on MMA Radio every Monday at 9 o'clock.
And also our other sponsor, Dependable Solutions, Innovate Your Business. If you're looking to take credit cards and haven't done it yet, or if you want a cheaper solution to what you may already have, check out Dependable Solutions, and they will help you out with that as well. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram, SD_MMA, and also on Facebook, Split Decision MMA Podcast, and our website, SplitDecisionMMA.com. And that's pretty much it from the SinCal studios. It's Bueller, Dodge, and Dennis saying have a good night. We'll see you at the fights.